When I saw that sign nailed to the tree-white background, bold red letters screaming, "Construction halted. Pending HOA review." I thought it was a prank, but then I saw the signature at the bottom. Karen Ditt, President of the Hillside Estates HOA. And that's when it hit me. They were really trying to stop me from building my own damn house. The twist, I didn't even belong to their HOA. When I bought that little half-acre off Oakhaven Road, I wasn't just buying land, I was buying peace, freedom, a second chance for me and my daughter Eliza. 21 years in the military teaches you patience, but it also teaches you how to smell power games from a mile away. And I could smell one the second I met her. It started the week I began clearing brush. I was knee-deep in pine needles when a white Lexus SUV crawled up my unpaved drive like it owned the place. Out stepped this woman, navy blazer, beige capri sunglasses the size of dinner plates, clipboard in hand, smile like a knife. "You must be the new owner," she said. "I'm Karen Ditt, President of Hillside Estates HOA." I nodded. "Nice to meet you, but this property isn't part of Hillside." Her smile tightened. "Yes, I understand that's what your realtor told you. But we like to maintain architectural harmony in the area. You'll need to submit your building plans for approval." I planted my boots in the dirt. "With all due respect, ma'am, my deed says no HOA jurisdiction. That's exactly why I bought it." She chuckled, this condescending, pitying sound, like I was some fool who didn't understand how the world really worked. "There's an annexation agreement. You'll receive it soon. It's mostly procedural." Then she handed me a glossy pamphlet and drove off in a cloud of dust. That night, I read the thing front to back. Visible range must conform to community standards. That line right there, that was her wedge. Visible range. As if owning binoculars gave her governance rights. The next morning my surveyor called. Said some lady with a clipboard had been questioning him about boundary lines. Of course it was her. That's when I started printing maps, 6 copies color-coded, stamped by the county. I wasn't going to get bulldozed by some suburban queen with a power complex. But Karen didn't back off. A week later, while my crew was pouring the foundation, she stormed up the hill again, visor windbreaker, mirrored glasses, dragging along some guy with a badge that read HOA Compliance Assistant. I didn't even know HOAs had assistants. "You need to shut this operation down," she barked. "You're in violation. Violation of what I asked. Common sense." Her assistant cleared his throat. "Section 12 of our Visual Impact Guidelines." I pointed toward the woods. "Let me get this straight. You're saying I can't build on my own property because someone might see it from their morning walk." Karen stepped closer, perfume sharp enough to sting. "You're not respecting the harmony of our neighborhood. We can issue fines." I laughed. "You can issue all the paper you want, lady. It won't mean a damn thing in court." She ripped the map out of her assistant's hands, crumpled it, shoved it back at me. "You've been warned," and she drove off. That night I sat on the tailgate of my truck holding that crumpled map, wondering what I'd gotten myself into. I just wanted to build a home, not start a war. Then the letters started coming. Certified mail, gold-trimmed stationery, the whole 9 yards. Unauthorized land use, obstruction of community view corridors, violation of aesthetic standards. They accused me of everything short of arson. Every day, new envelopes in the mailbox. It wasn't about fines, it was about control. I'd seen people like Karen before in uniform and out of it. They thrive on obedience. They feed on fear. Still, it got under my skin. I started questioning myself. What if I missed something? What if there was some hidden clause, some loophole that made her right? I barely slept. I caught myself staring at those letters like they were written in some secret code. Maybe I was the problem. Maybe I should just sell and move on. Then came Darrell, the county clerk. I'd gone in to double-check my parcel just to be sure. When I explained what was happening, he laughed. "Let me guess," he said. "Hillside Estates, Karen Ditt. Yeah, she's pulled that stunt before. You're not the first. You might be the first who's fought back, though." That changed everything. I wasn't crazy. I was being bullied. And once I knew that the soldier in me woke up, I started documenting everything. Photos, timestamps, videos. I bought trail cams. Then I called an old friend, Fran Delgado, attorney and absolute nightmare for anyone hiding behind fake authority. She reviewed everything. Jack, she said, you've got her. If they send one more notice, we file for harassment. But here's the question: you want to stop her, or you want to make sure this never happens again? I didn't even hesitate. Both. A few days later, a zoning inspector showed up after yet another anonymous complaint. Guy's name was Calvin Tran, sharp by the book type. We were walking the site when Karen rolled up again, SUV, crawling eyes behind those mirrored lenses. She strode over like she was leading an arrest. "Excuse me, sir," she said to the inspector. "This construction is in violation of our community's visual integrity standards." Mr. Tran blinked. "Ma'am, unless this property is under your HOA jurisdiction, those standards don't apply." Karen tried again, voice climbing. "It impacts property values. You must consider that." He shook his head. "Ma'am, this is a permitted build. You're interfering with an inspection." I stepped forward. "Calvin, could you please note her presence? This is the third time she's trespassed." Karen's face twisted. "You think the sheriff's going to protect you when an entire neighborhood demands accountability?" Tran folded his arms. "Ma'am, one more step and I cite you for harassment." She froze, then turned and stormed off, gravel flying behind her tires. That night I uploaded the footage from my trail cam, labeled it, "HOA President Confronts City Inspector Gets Shut Down." I didn't post it, not yet, but I had it. A week later a letter arrived. Polite tone this time. "You are cordially invited to attend the Hillside Estates HOA board meeting. Translation: come get ambushed." Fran told me to go. "Bring your documents, your maps, and your calm," she said. So I did. The clubhouse smelled like potpourri and passive aggression. Beige carpet bulletin boards filled with approved fence colors. About 30 residents showed up, some curious, some glaring. Karen made her grand entrance in a red blazer, heels clicking like a metronome. "We're here." She began to address a construction project impacting our neighborhood harmony. She didn't say my name, but everyone looked straight at me. When she was done, I stood. "My name's Jack Merritt. I bought my land legally with full confirmation from the county that it's outside your jurisdiction." I held up my map. "This is your line. This is mine. There is no overlap, no easement, no authority." I passed copies down the table. "In the last month, I've received 16 letters from your board threatening fines, legal action, even liens. I've had signs nailed to my trees, stakes pulled, and strangers trespass on my property pretending to be inspectors. I also have footage I paused of your president attempting to stop a city inspection." The room erupted. Murmurs everywhere. Someone whispered, "Is that true?" Karen's smile cracked. "Let's not turn this into a spectacle." "You nailed a threat to my tree at 4 a.m, I said. Dead silence. Then a man in a windbreaker stood. "Karen, if he's telling the truth, this is over the line." Another voice. "Didn't we get sued a few years ago for something like this?" Karen's mask slipped completely. The vice chair cleared his throat. "I think we should adjourn." I nodded. "Good idea." And I walked out, leaving my folder right there on the table. For a few days it was quiet. Too quiet. Then one morning my foreman called. "Jack, we got a problem." Karen's SUV was parked sideways across the driveway, blocking the concrete truck. She stood in front of it, arms crossed like she was guarding a national border. "Karen," I said, walking up slowly, camera in hand, "you need to move your car." "You don't have proper erosion control," she snapped. "You're endangering the trail easement." "There is no easement, and you're trespassing. Again." "I'm acting in the neighborhood's best interest," she yelled, turning toward the truck driver. "You're participating in an illegal pour." The driver, big guy with a Texas accent, shrugged. "Lady, I've got a signed permit. You want to stop me, show me a badge or a court order." She didn't have either. I called the sheriff. "Yeah, it's Jack Merritt. She's blocking my construction site again." Deputy Gaines arrived within 15 minutes. He'd dealt with her before. After a short talk at her car window, I heard the words, "no legal authority and formal charges." Her face went pale. Then she backed up, threw the SUV into reverse, and sped off without another word. The truck rolled in. The concrete poured. Every splash felt like a victory. Later that week, I found a letter tucked under a brick by the job box. It wasn't from Karen, it was from her vice chair, Don Halford. A quiet apology. "Your property is not under HOA jurisdiction. We are conducting an internal review. We appreciate your patience." That was their white flag. Turns out the footage from that meeting, the documents I'd shared, even the stories from other residents they'd started spreading. People were waking up. Karen had been running that board like a mini monarchy for years, and nobody had dared to challenge her until now. 2 days later, Dawn called again. Jack, the board voted to censure Karen. She's been stripped of her authority. I didn't say anything for a long moment. Then I asked, "What changed your mind?" "You did," he said. "You brought receipts." That night I saw Karen one last time. She was standing alone on the walking trail above my property. No sunglasses, no clipboard. Just a tired woman staring down at the house she couldn't stop. She didn't yell, didn't wave, just turned and walked away. And that's where the story ends. Not with celebration, not with revenge, just quiet. The kind of quiet you earn. Because sometimes standing your ground isn't about winning, it's about showing people that fear doesn't make the rules.